The day the aliens came changed everything. Big silver ships appeared in the sky all over Earth. They hovered silently above major cities. TV stations stopped their normal shows. The internet filled with blurry photos and wild guesses. The world held its breath. Dr. Samantha Wright watched from the beach near her marine research lab in Florida. At 35, she had spent most of her life studying venomous sea creatures. She never expected to see actual aliens. Yet there she stood, her blonde hair blowing in the breeze, staring up at something impossible. "Sam, are you seeing this?" her assistant called from the doorway. Nick Miller was fresh out of college, smart but easily excited. "I'm seeing it," Sam replied. "I just don't believe it." 3 days later, the aliens spoke. They called themselves the Galactic Concord, an alliance of 17 intelligent species that had been watching Earth for decades. They came in peace. They wanted to welcome humans to the wider community of spacefaring races. Sam followed the news reports like everyone else. World leaders met with alien representatives. Secrets were shared. Treaties were discussed. It all happened so fast. 1 week after first contact, Sam's phone rang. The caller ID showed a government number. "Dr. Wright? This is Agent Lisa Baker with the State Department. You've been selected for the first human cultural exchange team. Your expertise in toxic marine biology has specifically been requested." Sam nearly dropped her phone. "Me? Why would aliens care about sea snakes and jellyfish?" "They didn't say. Pack for at least a month. A car will pick you up tomorrow morning." Sam spent the night in a blur. She packed clothes, notes, and her tablet loaded with research papers. She called her parents and her sister. None of it felt real. The car came at dawn. It took her to a military airfield where 20 other humans waited. Scientists, linguists, diplomats, all looking as confused as she felt. "Welcome to the first contact team," said a tall man in a simple suit. "I'm Gregory Harris, chief diplomat for this mission. Each of you was requested by the Concord representatives. They chose you from billions of humans. We're going to their ship today." A woman raised her hand. "Why us specifically?" Harris shrugged. "They wouldn't say. But they were very specific. The shuttle ride to the main alien ship took 30 minutes. Sam sat next to a botanist named Alan Peters, a quiet man with kind eyes and graying hair. "Nervous?" he asked her. "Terrified," Sam admitted. "I study poison fish. What could aliens possibly want with that knowledge?" Alan smiled. "Maybe they're going fishing." The alien ship was enormous inside. The halls were tall and wide. The air smelled like mint and copper. Human quarters had been prepared with beds, desks, and bathrooms. That mostly made sense. The food was bland but edible. On the third day, Sam met her first non-human. The creature stood upright on 2 legs but looked like a cross between a lizard and a deer. It had scales in shades of blue and gray. Its eyes were large and golden with vertical pupils. A translator device hung around its long neck. "I am Zextral," the alien said, its voice odd but understandable through the translator. "Lead ambassador of the Vorn Confederation, senior member of the Galactic Concord. You are Samantha Wright, poison expert." "Venomous marine biologist," Sam corrected. "I study toxic sea creatures, yes." The alien's eyes widened. "Fascinating. Your world is of great interest to us. Most intelligent life evolves on less challenging planets." Sam wasn't sure what to say. "Earth seems normal to us." "Your normal is exceptional. Follow me to the science deck. I wish to learn more." The science deck amazed Sam. Screens showed data about Earth, weather patterns, ocean currents, animal migration routes. A group of aliens studied these displays. Most looked like Zextral, but some had different colors or features. All turned to stare when Sam entered. "This is the human expert," Zextral announced. "She will explain Earth's biological weapons." Sam frowned. "I don't study weapons. I study natural organisms." This caused a stir among the aliens. They clicked and hissed to each other. Zextral seemed confused. These venomous creatures, they evolved naturally? They were not designed? "Of course they evolved naturally," Sam said. Over millions of years. The aliens exchanged more clicks and hisses. One stepped forward, shorter than Zexitral with orange markings on its face. I am Krelvos, military attaché. You claim your world naturally produced creatures that can kill with a touch? Without technology or genetic manipulation? Sam realized. There was a serious misunderstanding. Yes, that's correct. Earth has many venomous creatures. Snakes, spiders, fish, even some mammals and birds have toxic capabilities. The room went completely silent. Krelvos stepped back. Zextral's scales changed color slightly, becoming paler. Show us, Zextral finally said. Sam used a nearby console to access Earth's internet. She pulled up videos and data about venomous creatures, cobras, box jellyfish, blue-ringed octopuses, and more. She explained how venom evolved as a hunting or defense mechanism. When she mentioned the inland taipan, Australia's deadly snake, Krelvos interrupted. Clarify this data. This says 1 gram of venom from this small creature could kill 100 of your kind? That's correct, Sam said. It's considered the most venomous land snake on Earth, but it's actually shy and rarely encounters humans. The aliens began speaking rapidly to each other in their own language. Their tones sounded alarmed. Sam noticed Krelvos slip away from the group, moving quickly toward the exit. Later that evening, Sam met with AWhen in the common area for humans. How was your day? He asked, sipping some kind of alien tea. Strange, Sam replied. I think I scared them with snakes. AWhen laughed. I spent hours explaining that plants can be poisonous too. My alien guide nearly passed out when I described poison ivy. Something's odd about their reaction, Sam said. It's like they think we made these creatures on purpose. Maybe on their worlds, evolution took a different path, AWhen suggested. Maybe venomous creatures are rare out there. Sam nodded, but she couldn't shake her unease. When she returned to her quarters, she found a message on her tablet. It was from Gregory Harris. All science team members, meeting at 0800 tomorrow. Urgent. The Conquered has reclassified Earth from developing world to potential threat. Something's happened. Be prepared to explain your field of study in detail, Sam. Stared at the message, her heart racing. Somehow her snakes and sea creatures had scared an interstellar civilization. She didn't know whether to laugh or worry. Outside her window, Earth shone blue and peaceful, unaware that its natural dangers had just changed humanity's place in the galaxy. Sam barely slept that night. By morning, she had reviewed all her research notes on venomous creatures. She dressed quickly and hurried to the meeting room. All 20 human team members were already there. Gregory Harris stood at the front, looking worried. His normally neat hair was messy and dark circles showed under his eyes. Thank you all for coming, he said. We have a situation. The Galactic Conquered has changed Earth's status overnight. They now consider us a potential military threat. The room filled with confused voices. Harris raised his hands for quiet. Last night, the Vorn military attaché, Krelvos, sent a report to the Concord High Command. He claimed Earth has developed powerful biological weapons that we're hiding, under the guise of natural evolution. Sam felt her stomach drop. That's my fault, she said. I showed them information about venomous snakes and sea creatures yesterday. They seemed shocked that such creatures evolved naturally. Harris shook his head. Not your fault, Dr. Wright. They asked about our biology. You told the truth. But it seems the conquered species come from much less dangerous worlds than ours. They don't understand how evolution could create such deadly creatures without intelligent design. Alan Peters raised his hand. So they think we made these animals as weapons? Exactly, Harris replied. And they're now questioning everything we've told them. I need each of you to prepare detailed explanations of Earth's natural dangers in your field. We need to convince them these aren't weapons, just the result of billions of years of evolution on a competitive planet. The meeting broke up, and Sam returned to the science deck. More aliens were there now, including several she hadn't seen before. They watched her with what looked like fear in their strange eyes. Zextrail approached her stiffly. Dr. Wright, the Science Council requests more information about your world's biological weapon systems. They aren't weapons, Sam said firmly. I need to make that very clear. These are natural organisms that evolved over millions of years. Humans are actually victims of these creatures, not their masters. Zexatrel's scales shimmered slightly. You expect us to believe that your world randomly created creatures that can kill hundreds with tiny amounts of toxin? That defies statistical probability. Sam pulled up Earth's evolutionary history on a nearby screen. Look at the timeline. Venomous creatures appeared hundreds of millions of years before humans evolved. The first snakes with venom existed when our ancestors were still small, furry animals hiding from dinosaurs. A new alien stepped forward. This one was smaller than the others, with green-blue scales and a more delicate build. "I am Tixmal, junior biological researcher," it said. "Your explanation interests me. On my homeworld, we have nothing that produces toxins this powerful. How did such abilities evolve?" Sam spent the next 2 hours explaining evolutionary pressure, predator-prey relationships, and survival adaptations. She showed videos of snakes hunting, of humans being treated for snake bites in hospitals, of the careful way scientists handled dangerous species, you see, she said. "We fear these creatures. Why would we fear our own weapons?" Tixmal seemed convinced, nodding its narrow head thoughtfully, but many of the other aliens remained suspicious, particularly a group that stood with Krelvos near the back of the room. "If these are not weapons," Krelvos called out, "why do humans know so much about them? Why study them so carefully?" "To protect ourselves," Sam replied, "and to learn. The same venoms that kill can also heal when used correctly. Many important medicines come from studying these toxins." This caused a ripple of surprise among the aliens. Tixmal asked several questions about medical applications, which Sam answered as best she could. Later, Sam found Alan in the dining area. He looked tired but gave her a small smile. "How did your session go?" he asked. "Mixed," Sam replied. "Some seem willing to believe us, others don't. How about you?" "I spent 3 hours explaining that plants didn't develop poisons to attack humans specifically," Alan sighed. "They couldn't grasp why a plant would need to defend itself. Apparently, on their worlds, plants are just plants. No thorns, no toxins, no defenses." "That's so strange to imagine," Sam said. "A world where nothing is trying to kill you." "Maybe that's why they're so alarmed by Earth," Alan suggested. "Imagine growing up on a safe planet, then discovering a world where even the plants can hurt you." Their conversation was interrupted when Tixmal approached their table. "May I join you?" the alien asked hesitantly. Sam nodded, and Tixmal sat down with surprising grace. "I must speak quickly," Tixmal said, voice low. "Krelvos has sent more reports to his military command. He believes humans are lying about our biological capabilities. He has requested a special team to collect samples from your planet's most dangerous regions." "Samples?" Alan asked. "You mean they want to take our animals?" "Yes," Tixmal confirmed. "And they plan to start in the area you call Australia. They believe it contains your primary biological weapons development zone due to the concentration of venomous species there." Sam felt a chill. That's just how Australia evolved. It's been isolated for millions of years, which led to unique evolutionary paths. If alien ships start landing and taking animals, it could cause panic. "You must stop them," Tixmal said. "I believe your explanation of natural evolution, but many in the military faction do not. They see Earth as a threat that must be contained, or neutralized." "Neutralized?" Sam repeated. "What does that mean?" Tixmal's scales darkened. "I should not say more, but you must convince the Science Council quickly. The military vessels are already preparing." After Tixmal left, Sam and Alan rushed to find Gregory Harris. They found him in heated discussion with 3 Vorn officials. "We need to talk," Sam said urgently. "The Vorn military is planning to send ships to Australia. They think it's some kind of weapons facility." Harris's face paled. "That's what I was just told. They're sending a sample collection team tomorrow. If they land unannounced in Australia, it could lead to conflict." "We need to show them more proof," Sam insisted. "Not just data and videos. They need to see how these animals Actually live in nature how they interact with humans. What are you suggesting? Harris asked. A demonstration, Sam replied. A controlled visit to Earth. Let them see for themselves that these creatures aren't weapons, just animals doing what evolution designed them to do. Harris looked thoughtful. I'll propose it to the council, but be ready. If they agree, you'll be the primary guide. That night, Sam couldn't sleep. She stood at her window looking down at Earth. Somewhere down there, her ordinary world continued, unaware that its natural dangers had made aliens see humanity as a threat. The irony wasn't lost on her. After all humanity's wars and weapons, it was a simple snake that might start an interstellar conflict. The next morning brought both good news and bad news. Gregory Harris found Sam and Alan at breakfast. The Science Council has agreed to your demonstration idea, he said, but they've only delayed the military mission to Australia by 3 days. We need to organize a controlled visit to Earth immediately. Sam nodded. Who's coming? 6 alien scientists, including Zextrel and Tixmal, plus Krelvos insisted on joining as a military observer. Where will we take them? Alan asked. The Australian Dangerous Animals Research Centre in Queensland has agreed to host us, Harris replied. They have controlled environments with many species. We leave in 2 hours. The journey back to Earth was tense. The alien visitors sat quietly in the shuttle, their strange eyes taking in everything. Tixmal asked polite questions about Earth, geography. Krelvos watched Sam with open suspicion. When they landed in Australia, 3 human scientists greeted them. Dr. Olivia Grant was the center's director, a woman with sun-weathered skin and confident movements. Welcome to the most dangerous continent on Earth, she said cheerfully, where even the cute things might kill you. The aliens looked alarmed. Harris shot Dr. Grant a warning look. She corrected. Welcome to our research facility. We study venomous and dangerous wildlife to better understand and protect both animals and humans. The tour began in a large, climate-controlled building. Behind glass walls lived various snakes, spiders, and other creatures. Each display showed the animal in a natural setting. This is a coastal taipan, Dr. Grant explained, stopping at a display with a brownish snake, one of Australia's most venomous snakes. Its venom affects the nervous system and blood. Without treatment, a bite can be fatal. Zextrel leaned closer to the glass. This small creature is the weapon you spoke of. Not a weapon, Sam corrected, firmly. A predator. It uses venom to hunt small animals and to defend itself when threatened. Observe its behavior, Dr. Grant added. See how it's not aggressive? It's actually quite shy. Most snake bites happen when humans accidentally step on them or corner them. As if to prove her point, the taipan retreated to a corner of its enclosure when they got too close. Next, they visited the spider section. The aliens seemed especially disturbed by the funnel web spiders. Tixmal kept careful notes on a small device, while Krelvos paced impatiently. I see no proof these were not engineered, Krelvos finally said. You show us contained specimens and claim they evolved naturally. This proves nothing. Dr. Grant looked annoyed, but Sam stepped in quickly. You raise a fair point, she said. Let's move to the medical section. There you can see how we treat venomous bites and stings. The medical section was more convincing. Videos showed snakebite victims being treated in hospitals. Display cases held antivenom vials. Charts tracked snakebite incidents across Australia. If these were our weapons, Alan pointed out, why would we work so hard to treat their effects? Why would we track each bite as a medical emergency? Some of the alien scientists nodded at this logic. Tixmal seemed particularly interested in the anti-venom production. You create medicine from the very toxins that harm you? Tixmal asked. Exactly, Sam replied. We study these venoms to create treatments, and not just for bites. Some venoms have compounds that help treat human diseases. The tour continued to the research labs, where scientists demonstrated how they carefully extracted venom from snakes for study. This process is dangerous, Dr. Grant explained as a staff member, handled a snake with special tools. Over half our staff have been bitten at least once despite safety measures. If these were weapons we controlled, why would they harm us? This seemed to make an impression on the aliens. Even Krelvos watched with new interest. After lunch, they moved to the outdoor section of the facility. Here, larger enclosures held crocodiles, venomous fish in tanks, and other dangerous Australian wildlife. There's something you should know about Earth, Sam said as they walked. Our planet has gone through 5 major extinction events. Each time, most species died out. The survivors had to be tough, adaptable, and often dangerous. Humans evolved in this harsh environment. We weren't the strongest or the fastest, so we developed intelligence to survive. You evolved intelligence because your world was dangerous? Zextral asked. That's one theory, Sam replied. We had to outsmart predators and find food in challenging environments. But we're still vulnerable to these creatures. They're faster than us. Their venom works on us just like any other mammal. The day was going well until alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. Dr. Grant received an urgent call on her phone. We have a problem, she said. Our security system detected an unauthorized landing 5 kilometers from here. It looks like an alien craft. Harris turned to Krelvos. Did your military send that ship? Krelvos's scales darkened. The sample collection mission was scheduled to proceed if the science team did not report back within 24 hours. But it hasn't been 24 hours, Harris protested. There must have been a miscommunication, Krelvos said, not sounding sorry at all. They are likely collecting specimens as we speak. Those aren't specimens, Dr. Grant said angrily. They're protected species in a national park. And visitors, wandering around there without guides, could get hurt or killed. As if to confirm her fears, her phone rang again. 3 aliens have been spotted near Kings Creek, she reported after answering. They're trying to capture a brown snake, but they're doing it all wrong. Park rangers are on their way, but they're 20 minutes out. We have to stop them before someone gets hurt, Sam said. Harris nodded grimly. Dr. Wright, Dr. Peters, come with me. Krelvos, you too. You need to see this. The rest of you, please stay here where it's safe. They took a research center jeep and drove fast down dirt roads. When they reached the location, they found 3 Vorn aliens. They wore protective suits and were trying to force a large brown snake into a clear container. The snake was clearly agitated, striking repeatedly at the protective gear. The aliens were shouting at each other in their own language. Sam jumped from the jeep. Stop! You're doing this all wrong. One alien turned. We are collecting samples as ordered. That's an eastern brown snake, Sam explained quickly. Second most venomous land snake on the planet. Your suits might not protect you if it strikes at the right spot. As if understanding her, the snake suddenly lunged, its fangs connected with a thin section of one alien's protective glove. The alien shrieked and fell backward. Poison, it cried. I am poisoned! Krelvos watched in shock as his fellow soldier writhed on the ground. Harris was already on the phone calling for medical help. This is what we've been trying to tell you, Sam said to Krelvos. These animals aren't our weapons, they're dangerous to us too. Your soldier needs anti-venom immediately. For the first time, Krelvos seemed to truly understand. These creatures, they truly are not under your control? No, Sam answered. On Earth, humans aren't the most dangerous species, we never have been. The injured alien soldier was rushed back to the research center. Medical staff worked quickly, injecting anti-venom as the alien's breathing became labored. Sam watched nervously as Dr. Grant supervised the treatment. Will your medicine work on their biology? Sam asked quietly. We don't know, Dr. Grant admitted. Their blood seems similar enough to ours, but we've never treated an alien before. Krelvos paced outside the medical room, scales shifting colors with what seemed like anxiety. The other 2 Vorn soldiers stood silently nearby. Your soldier acted against orders, Harris told Krelvos firmly. This incident could have been avoided. Yes, Krelvos said, surprising everyone. I misjudged the situation. I believed your species controlled these venomous creatures as weapons. I could not imagine a world where such dangers evolved naturally. Sam felt a small sense of victory. Finally, they were getting through to the military faction. After 2 tense hours, the medical team emerged. Your soldier will recover, Dr. Grant announced. The antivenom worked, though slower than it would for a human. He'll need rest and observation. Relief spread through the room. The alien scientists who had remained at the center gathered around Tixmal, who had been taking notes throughout the crisis. This incident provides valuable evidence, Tixmal announced. A controlled biological weapon would not harm Allied forces. Yet this creature attacked without discrimination, and the humans rushed to provide medical aid to their supposed enemy. Zexatral nodded slowly. It appears we have misunderstood Earth's biological situation. These creatures are indeed natural, not designed weapons. Sam wanted to cheer, but Harris shot her a warning look. This was still a delicate diplomatic situation. We appreciate your reconsideration, Harris said formally. Earth wishes only peaceful relations with the Galactic Conquered. That evening, the humans and aliens gathered in the research center's conference room. The mood was more relaxed than before, though still cautious. I have reported our findings to the Science Council, Zexatral announced. They are retracting the threat classification for Earth, pending final approval. And the military vessels? Harris asked. Being recalled, Krelvos confirmed. Though I must admit, many in our forces will find this difficult to believe. A planet with naturally evolved toxins powerful enough to kill hundreds with tiny amounts? It defies what we know of planetary development. Perhaps your worlds follow different evolutionary paths, Alan suggested. Earth had specific conditions that led to these adaptations. Tixmal's eyes brightened with scientific curiosity. We must study this further. Earth represents a unique evolutionary case study. Just then, a research center staff member rushed in. Turn on the news, she said urgently. Something's happening. The large screen on the wall came to life, showing an emergency broadcast. A reporter stood in front of what looked like another alien ship, this one larger and more angular than the Vorn vessels. Unknown alien craft has entered Earth's atmosphere and is hovering over Central Australia, the reporter was saying. Military forces have been deployed but have been instructed not to engage. This comes just hours after reports of other alien activities in Queensland. Harris turned to Zexatral. What is this? You said the ships were being recalled? Zexatral looked equally confused. Those are not Vorn vessels. They appear to be Mardek ships. Mardek? Sam asked. Another Concord species, Tixmal explained, quickly. More militant than the Vorn. They must have monitored our communications and decided to investigate Earth's weapons themselves. Krelvos pulled out a communication device. This is bad. The Mardek do not wait for scientific confirmation. They act to neutralize threats quickly. Neutralize? Sam recalled the word from earlier. What exactly does that mean? Krelvos looked grim. They will likely attempt to eliminate what they perceive as biological weapons development sites. They're going to bomb Australia? Dr. Grant asked in horror. Not bombs as you understand them, Krelvos said. But yes, they will seek to sterilize areas with high concentrations of venomous creatures. Harris was already on his phone, alerting Earth's governments. The room erupted into urgent discussions and planning. Sam pulled Tixmal aside. We need to convince the Mardek like we convinced you. Show them these creatures aren't weapons. The Mardek rarely listen to scientific reasoning, Tixmal said sadly. They believe in eliminating potential threats before studying them. Sam thought quickly. Then we need evidence they can't ignore. Not just one snake bite, but proof that humans have always been victims of these creatures, not their masters. Alan joined them, his face serious. What if we broadcast worldwide snakebite statistics, medical records showing centuries of humans dying from these venoms? That might work, Tixmal said thoughtfully. But we need a direct communication channel, to their ships. I can arrange that, Krelvos said, approaching their group. The Vorn military channel can reach Mardek vessels. What evidence can you gather quickly? For the next hour, Sam and Alan worked with the research center's staff to compile data. They gathered historical records of snakebite fatalities, medical journal articles on antivenom development, and video interviews with snakebite survivors. Dr. Grant added emergency room footage showing real-time treatment of venomous injuries. "We need something more dramatic," Sam said, looking at their collection. "Something that shows beyond doubt that these creatures act independently of human control." "I might have an idea," Dr. Grant said. She left the room and returned with a small, secure container. Inside was a pale yellow snake. "This is a young inland taipan," she explained. "The snake species with venom potent enough to kill 100 people with one bite. We use it for anti-venom production." "What are you suggesting?" Harris asked cautiously. "Oh, live demonstration," Dr. Grant replied. "Under controlled conditions, of course. We show how we handle these snakes, how dangerous they are to us, and how we respect rather than control them." "That's too risky," Harris objected. "It's our best option," Sam argued. "The Marduk won't believe data or historical records. They need to see with their own eyes." After much debate, they reached a compromise. They would broadcast a live demonstration from the research center's secure handling facility. Protective measures would be in place, but the danger would be real enough to convince the Marduk. By midnight, everything was ready. The Marduk ships remained hovering over Australia, but hadn't taken action yet. Krell had established communication and informed them that crucial evidence about Earth's biological weapons would be presented. Sam stood in the handling facility wearing protective gear, but with her face visible through a clear mask. Cameras broadcast the demonstration to the Marduk ships and to nervous government officials worldwide. "This snake," Sam explained, pointing to the taipan in its clear container, "is what your people believe is a human weapon. I will now demonstrate how humans actually interact with it." With careful movements, Sam and a trained handler began the delicate process of managing the inland taipan. Sam narrated each step, explaining the danger, the precautions, and most importantly, the respect humans had for these creatures. "We do not control this animal," she said clearly for the camera. "We study it. We learn from it. Sometimes it kills us. That is the reality of Earth's evolution." As the demonstration continued, the tension in the room was thick enough to cut. Everyone knew that the fate of Australia, possibly all of Earth, depended on convincing the Marduk that humans were not hiding biological weapons. They were simply sharing a planet with creatures that evolution had made perfectly, naturally, deadly. As Sam completed the snake handling demonstration, the research center fell silent. Everyone waited for a response from the Marduk ships. Minutes passed with no communication. "Did they receive our broadcast?" Harris asked Krell. "Yes," the Vorn military officer confirmed. "They are discussing it among their command structure." Sam carefully returned the inland taipan to its secure container. Her hands trembled slightly from the tension of the demonstration. One wrong move could have resulted in a bite, proving their point to the aliens, but at a terrible cost. "You did well," Dr. Grant told her quietly. Another 30 minutes passed. The humans and Vorn aliens gathered in the conference room, watching news footage of the Marduk ship still hovering ominously over the Australian outback. Finally, Krellvoss's communication device activated. He listened for several moments, his scales shifting through various colors. "The Marduk command has reached a decision," he announced. "They are withdrawing their ships." A collective sigh of relief filled the room. Harris shook Krellvoss's hand firmly. "Thank you for your help," Harris said. "Without your support, this could have ended very differently." "I was wrong about your world," Krellvoss admitted. "We all were. The Concorde has never encountered a planet where evolution took such aggressive paths." Tixmal approached Sam and Alan. "The Science Council is fascinated by your demonstration. They are proposing a new classification for Earth, a naturally evolved death world." "A what?" Alan asked. "A death world," Tixmal repeated. "A planet where the natural environment is exceptionally dangerous by galactic standards. Such worlds are rare and valuable for scientific study." Sam wasn't sure if this was a compliment. "So we've gone from being suspected weapons developers to living on a scary planet?" "Not just scary," Tixmal corrected. "Exceptional. Most intelligent species evolve on worlds with fewer environmental threats. Your species developed under constant survival pressure from predators, diseases, weather extremes, and venomous creatures. This likely contributed to your remarkable adaptability. The next morning, government officials arrived at the research center. The incident had escalated to the highest levels. The president's science advisor, Dr. Carl Jones, met with the human, team and alien representatives. The United Nations Security Council has been in emergency session all night, Dr. Jones informed them. This misunderstanding nearly led to an interstellar incident, but it also presents an opportunity. The Galactic Concord now sees Earth differently. Zextrail nodded. Indeed, your original invitation to join the Concord came with certain restrictions. These were based on our assessment of Earth as a developing world requiring guidance and protection. But now, Harris asked, now Earth will be invited as a full associate member, Zextrail said. A Death World species has demonstrated qualities the Concord values: resilience, adaptability, and coexistence with natural dangers. Over the next week, Sam watched as human and alien diplomats worked out the details of Earth's new relationship with the galactic community. The most immediate change was the lifting of restrictions on human space development. Earth could now build its own ships and establish colonies without Concord supervision. They're actually a little afraid of us now, Alan commented as they observed a meeting between human military officials and Concord representatives. Not afraid, Sam corrected. Respectful. They realize we've survived conditions that would challenge their own people. The final day of the alien delegation's visit brought a special announcement. The Concord Science Council, in cooperation with Earth governments, would establish an interspecies biological research center. Its mission would be to study Earth's unique evolutionary path and the remarkable adaptations of its life forms. Dr. Wright, Zextrail said, approaching Sam during the ceremony. The council requests that you serve as human director of this new institution. Sam was stunned. Me? But I'm just a marine biologist. There are more qualified people. You demonstrated exceptional understanding of your world's evolutionary processes, Zextrail insisted, and more importantly, you showed courage in defending your planet through truth rather than force. Sam accepted the position with Alan Peters as her deputy director. The new center would be built near the existing Australian research facility, with expanded capabilities and alien scientists in residence. 6 months later, Sam stood in the observation deck of the completed Interspecies Biological Research Center. Through the window, she watched as a group of alien military cadets cautiously entered the outdoor training area. Each wore protective gear and carried monitoring equipment. The first Concord Death World Survival Class, Tixmal said, joining her at the window. The young alien scientist had remained on Earth as a permanent liaison. I still can't believe they're sending their soldiers to train here, Sam remarked. It makes perfect strategic sense, Tixmal replied. If they can survive Earth's natural dangers, they can survive almost anywhere in the galaxy. Below, the alien cadets were receiving instructions from Rick Johnson, a rugged park ranger who had joined the center's staff. He was explaining safety protocols for navigating the Australian bush. Suddenly, one of the alien cadets spotted a small garden snake sunning itself on a nearby rock. The snake was completely harmless, but the alien didn't know that. It jumped back in alarm, tripping over its own feet and falling. The other cadets scattered in panic. Rick calmly picked up a stick, gently moved the snake away, and then helped the fallen cadet up. The aliens watched in amazement as the harmless snake slithered away into the brush. So much fear over such a little thing, Sam said, smiling. They will learn, Tixmal assured her. As we all have. Your world has much to teach us about survival, adaptation, and respect for natural dangers. That evening, Sam sat outside her new office, watching the sunset over the Australian landscape. In the distance, the silhouette of a Concord ship was visible against the orange sky, one of many now regularly visiting Earth. A year ago, she had been a simple marine biologist studying venomous sea creatures. Now she headed an interstellar research center, all because aliens had learned that a single snake on Earth could kill 100 at once. Life had become very strange, but in a galaxy full of safer, tamer worlds, Earth's dangerous nature had earned it a unique place. Humans were no longer seen as backward newcomers to be protected and guided, but as survivors whose planet had forged them into something remarkable. The snake that had almost started a war had, instead, earned humanity unexpected respect among the stars.